Anderson from the School of Pharmacy. He's gonna speak to our academic component, and Seth Hall, who is our interim AD. But when we originally planned this, he had a different job title. So, but with AD, with athletic director, that also includes a ton of civic engagement by the athletic director. So again, we appreciate you being here. I'm gonna turn it over to Joel, and he's gonna introduce our first speaker.
All right. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being with us today. Our first speaker, I believe, needs no introduction, but for those who have not met, our fearless leader, President Ron Berry. He's been with us, I believe this will be your second year? Tomorrow. All right. Congratulations. And hopefully he can enlighten us on the university and, helpful tips, tricks, facts, anything that y'all may need to know, especially for our students in here. We take pride in the fact that we can bring administration to you and sit down in an intimate space like this. So President Ron Berry.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Also want to thank, I saw that she was joining us. Thank Dr. Fields for this concept, for this idea. She started this last year, I believe, and I certainly want to thank everyone that's helped this grow into what it is and what it's going to become. I had the opportunity this morning to speak to a group of about 20 folks from around our system. They're participating in a Management and Leadership Institute. Chris is one of our alums from that program. And so they asked me to meet with them this morning at 9 o'clock and talk about leadership and what it's like. And so I had a whole hour and a half to talk to them. And Joel said I had like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna try to squeeze all that knowledge in. Are you ready? Not really. So leadership is challenging. It's if you think about what it is, there are lots of different definitions, but in a nutshell, it's really trying to bring people together around a common cause, a common purpose, a common vision, and getting them to want to be a part of it. And so there's lots of different things that's important in leadership, psychology being one of them, because all of us are different. If you are a psychology student, you may have learned something called Johari's window. And Johari's window talks about how there are really 4 parts of every human being. There's the part that's visible to everyone. There's the part that's only visible to the individual. There's actually a part of us that other people know about us that we don't know about ourselves. And then there's the unknown, parts about each of us that we don't know and other people doesn't know yet. And it's almost like all of us in our daily lives go around with a mask on, living our life, participating in certain things, because we don't really know each other completely, because there are hidden parts. There are parts that I keep private, that you keep private. And leadership is about getting people to a point, to a place, to a condition where they feel comfortable taking that mask off, where they can truly be themselves and feel good about themselves enough to let you in, to listen to you, to have a conversation with you, to trust you, to have mutual respect. That's when you can really get a group of people doing unbelievable things. When each person can be the best version of themselves and they feel comfortable and confident about that, working with other people who have that same feeling, it's amazing what can be accomplished. And some people talk about leadership, well, it's just telling everybody what to do. At the faculty and staff welcome address, I went through an exercise with them and I said, okay, this is leadership. Last year we defined our purpose. This year we're going to talk about how we achieve that purpose. And so I asked some people up to the stage and I said, okay, I'm going to do something. I'm going to tell you what to do and you tell everybody in the audience what to do. So I clapped my hands and stomped my feet twice. No, I didn't. I clapped my hands twice, stomped my foot once. Then the people on the stage did it, and everybody in the audience did it. I said, that's it. That's leadership. We just got something accomplished. We're all working together. And obviously the answer is no, that's not leadership. Some people believe that's leadership. Telling people what to do is not leadership. That's more management. Leadership is letting people own who they are, empowering them, helping them become the best version of themselves, finding the right position for them so that they can flourish and be more successful than they ever dreamed possible. So how do you do that? Maybe that's the next episode. It's challenging, but there is, I shared an example. There's this orchestra that's very unique. It's some of the world's most talented musicians. And what makes them unique is that they do not have a director. They are the best versions of themselves. And without a director, they play this amazing music together. And they're able to do that because each one is the best version of themselves. They're willing to have a conversation with each other instead of a confrontation. They're willing to speak up and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing it this way instead of this way? They have respect for each other and appreciation for each other. So even without a person standing up there, they're amazing. If you haven't seen them, go on Google, go to YouTube, look for Orpheus. It's quite amazing. At ULM, we're in that transformation. We were very hierarchical. We were very management oriented. We were very much into telling people what to do. And we're transitioning now to an empowerment, to a participative leadership style, where people own their position. They have authority, they have accountability to get things done. And so that transition is where we are as a university in our leadership journey. And, one of my favorite sayings as a leader, and my daughter taught me this when she was 3 years old. I would read to her and she'd always want to know, what's next, Daddy? What's going to happen to the pirate? What's going to happen to the alligator? Is the alligator going to bite the pirate or whatever? And I would keep telling her, be patient, be patient. And she looked at me one day and said, Daddy, patience sure is a long time. Leadership is an ongoing thing. It never ends. It's a long time. And as a university and as individuals, we're moving through that journey to become the best versions of ourselves. So in a nutshell, that's an hour and a half of information and maybe 5 or 6 minutes. So I'll stop at that point.
Thank you, Dr. Berry. We certainly appreciate you being here. One thing I missed on the housekeeping, before you leave, faculty and staff, if y'all don't mind, try to track me down. Let me get you to sign in so that we can stay engaged throughout the semester and make sure you're aware of everything that's going on. I'm going to turn it over to Michael Bricker. He's going to introduce our next speaker.
Hey, can everybody hear me? We're going to try this out, and if we can't, then we'll throw it back to Brandon and put him on the spot. But give me a thumbs up, everybody on Zoom. Fantastic, fantastic. Well, hey, I have the honor of introducing Dr. Glenn Anderson over the College of Pharmacy. But before we get into that, one, I'd like to thank everybody here. This is super exciting. I'm Michael Stogstow-Bricker. I am the Director of Career Development. And two, I'd like to say kudos to everybody that was in part of planning this, and to all the students and staff and faculty that were willing to pivot right here, and do what we can to accommodate the large amount of people we have today. This is really exciting and a good problem to have. So if anybody knows anything about this college, then they know how excellent the College of Pharmacy is. Sometimes they run their own ship. And while they have their separate campus, I think there are facets about the college about the faculty and about how they run themselves that we can all aspire to. When forming this group, when forming these events, we wanted to look at three components: leadership, education, and community engagement involvement. So Dean Anderson is going to, Dean Anderson is going to take us away, but he's going to represent that educational piece. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, Michael. I appreciate that introduction. Welcome, everybody. It's so good to see you all. I didn't know what I was walking into today, but this is absolutely invigorating. And as Dr. Berry will tell you, Glenn does not like crowds, so this is pretty cool. No, I have the profound opportunity to talk to you about why do you want to engage with your professors? Why do you engage with your college educational leaders, if you will? And there's a variety of different ways to go about it. One of the things I want to start with, though, is to let you know there's 2 points I want to make as we go through here, and I'll emphasize what those 2 points are as we hit each of them. I'm going to begin a little bit about just me. I am an educator. I've been an educator for, oh gosh, over 25 years now. I'm getting old. But I went to college at The Ohio State University. I say the because I get beat up all the time when I forgot to put the in front of it by my faculty, okay? Because you need to know what college or university you go to, you know? And so I went to The Ohio State University, completed a Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy, a doctorate in pharmacy, as well as a fellowship, a 2-year fellowship in drug information. And that's a 10-year commitment of time. And during that time, I fell in love with the academic environment. And I've never really been outside the academic environment. Yes, I've practiced. I am a pharmacist. I practice as a pharmacist. I treat patients. I facilitate their care. But the reality is I've always done that within the umbrella of a college of pharmacy. There's a variety of reasons why I fell in love with being in an academic environment. I have 3 primary personal goals or beliefs that are central to how I try to live my life. The first one is I want a family that comes first. So my family is central to what I do on a daily basis. Even when I take a week-long vacation, and yes, I felt guilty that my wife had to deal with my 2 teenage children, you know, still I try to consider what their needs are before I do that activity, and all the decisions that I've made as I've moved from institution to institution throughout my career. The second thing I want to do is I want to be innovative. And being innovative is something that invigorates me, excites me, it engages me in what I'm doing. So that's the second belief that I have that's central to what I do. And the third one is I want to help people. I mean, just as simple as that, I want to help people. It doesn't matter if I want to help people who are my patients achieve their health goals or have a better life. It also is with my students, I want to help them achieve their career goals or their career vision. I love vision. I love people who dream. I love people who dream big because that gives me more opportunity to help them meet those aspirations. And I think a point that you need to take away from today is that your faculty are not different than me. They're faculty because they want to help you. I mean, many of them do look at the educational process as giving you a set of keys. You know, when I look at life, life is a long hallway, an infinite hallway, where every few feet you have 2 new doors that appear before you, one on the right, one on the left. And what you're always doing is checking is, do I have the keys that open those doors? One of the ways that you open those doors is through life experience, but the other way that you do it is by being here and being present and being successful. It's your college education. It's the training that you get post-graduation that makes that available to you, those keys available to you. And you have to put in the time and effort, though, to make that happen. One of the things that you need to understand is the faculty are engaged with you in a covenantal relationship. I'm not sure if you understand what that means. A covenantal relationship means that I have responsibilities, but who else has responsibilities? You. I'm not a teacher, okay? I'm a faculty member. I'm a facilitator of your education. I never have taken an educational course in my life, but I have a heck of a lot of life experiences, professional experiences that I can bring to the table that can help you meet the educational goals that the college and program has for you. And it's my role to set up those experiences and to bring your experiences in the classroom or outside the classroom and marry those with my experiences so that you can more easily get to the outcomes that we need to get you to within the course that I'm teaching, okay? So I set up a pathway to help you quickly and efficiently learn. What's your responsibility? Your responsibility is to bring it every day. Bring it every day. That means you have to attend. That means you have to have attention in the classroom. That means you have to put in the time outside of class and in class. And then you have to, when you have problems, reach out. And that's important. Reaching out when you have problems, even if it's just something as simplistic as you don't know what the reading assignment is today because you couldn't find it in the slide presentation. You reaching out is an opportunity for you to allow that faculty member to help you. So an opportunity for you to clarify what the expectations are of you so you can be successful. Your success in the classroom is the short game. There's a short game and long game that we're going to have here. So the first thing is you have a covenantal relationship with the faculty member. You need to engage with them so they can help you reach the class goals. That's the short game. The long game's a lot different. And you got the trouble, or at least the struggle I had during the 10 years I was in school was transitioning from a short game. What do I have to do in class and how do I get through the class with an A, right? Or whatever the grade is I want. To getting to the long game with how do I, which is this, it's how do I get to where I'm successful? Whatever that means to me. It could mean I want to get a job. It could mean I want to be a career. I want to be a president. I mean, it could be whatever it is. How do I get there? And the reality is this, there's three things that's going to help you. The things that help you be successful in life after college are, do you have the competency within your field? And that's what we're here at this institution to do, is to give you the competency in your field. That's only one of three things you need. That's emotional, that's an IQ or intelligence, not emotional intelligence, IQ or intelligence. The second thing is EQ, which is emotional intelligence or connectivity. And the third thing is self-awareness of PQ. You got to have all three things to be successful in a career or successful as a leader, as Dr. Berry's talked about. At least those are the highest performing successes. Your engagement with faculty during the short game bridges the connectivity you need for the long game. Those faculty, for your first job specifically, are going to be the first people who you should ask to write letters of recommendation. The first people who can attest to your competence. The first people who can attest to your character. Because when I hire people, I don't really care if you just know something from the classroom. I want to know if you're a person who has character and can fit into my people, my group, my team. And those faculty are going to help set the stage for you to prove that you're able to do that. The second thing is you need to be able to look inward. You need to be self-aware. How are you self-aware? You can't do it alone the first time. As you get older, like this old guy with gray hair, you might be able to do it. But the first thing you need is external feedback so that you can see where others are seeing you have opportunity for improvement. And I think the faculty, I know the faculty have the opportunity and the willingness to provide you that feedback, honest feedback. You don't want someone blowing smoke, right? You really want to know where the problems or potential problems are. It's not always problems, it's potential problems or potential areas for improvement so that you can move forward. I think the faculty really can help you begin to become self-aware so you can get to that next stage. The long story short is this: when you graduate, it's not just competency that gets you, or intelligence or knowledge in the classroom that gets you to success. It's you having the connectivity and the self-awareness that's obvious to your potential employers that help you be above and beyond others in your class. I think that's a good place to stop.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to send it over to Chris Williams to introduce our next speaker.
This guy also doesn't need an introduction. It's not many people that don't know this young man. This is our Chief Strategy Officer and current Interim Athletic Director, Seth Hall, with our civic engagement component.
Before Seth gets started, I keep forgetting to mention this. I'm gonna interrupt and be rude. I apologize. There will be a question and answer session. So please get your questions ready for our speakers. Avi here will be a graduate international student, will be our moderator. So get your questions ready. Seth, take it away.
I thought you were gonna point out how Chris and I are matching.
Y'all are matching. It's good. It's good.
So I don't know why any of you chose to come here, but my guess is that I am at best third on the list as to why you're here. So you either saw that the president of the university was gonna be here and you thought, I want to hear the president speak, or you thought, you know what? I want to go to pharmacy school and I want to hear the dean of the College of Pharmacy speak. I'm probably fourth at best, because the third thing is that you might have just thought, this looks like a cool organization and thing that they're doing. I want to go there. So at fourth, you may have worked your way all the way down the list to say, I'm going because Seth Hall is going to be there. I don't even know who he is, but I'm going because of him. So I appreciate you guys coming if you made it that far down the list. Full candor here, because all of you at some point hopefully will get a chance to be in positions where you speak in front of groups and you talk to people and you're going to be inspirational people. I really enjoy doing these things, but I get nervous every single time. It doesn't matter if I'm talking to a group of 500 people or 1,000 people or a group of 10 people. I go to a Bible study on Thursday mornings with like 7 other guys, and I get nervous speaking up at my Bible study. So I'm just telling you that because you all are going to be nervous at some point when you speak in front of groups, and that's okay. You can still be really good at doing that, even if you're nervous. Now, one thing that's different from me and Dr. Berry and probably even Dr. Anderson, Dr. Anderson, I don't know each other super well, but I am probably more emotional than both of them. And so there's one thing that I want to tell you. I know some of you personally, but I want all of you to know that I love each of you. I'm being serious. Part of the reason that I work here at ULM is because I love you. All of the students that are here, the faculty, the staff, anybody that is involved with ULM, if you are here, I love you. Some of you I know personally, and some of you I don't. And even if I don't know you, some of you, I still love you. And part of the reason that I do what I do here at the university is because of you. So I want you to know that. Chris mentioned that he kind of gave 2 titles. For the past 15 months, I've really served as the Chief Strategy Officer here. And for the past 2 weeks and 2 days, I've been the Interim Athletic Director, which is a really neat, exciting assignment. And it's a much different assignment than before. But my first majority of the time that I came back to, I worked here for 7 years, then left for a while. But when I came back, the majority of what I did was working on strategic planning for the university. And through that whole process, we did what are called SWOT analyses. You look at your strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats for your organization. We did visioning sessions. We did open forums. We wanted to learn what people thought were important about ULM. One of the things that kept popping up throughout the whole, all of the research that we did and the open forums that we did and the committee work that we did was that we need to be involved with our community. So they mentioned, the title they gave me was civic engagement, but really that's like community engagement. So I'm not going to put anybody really on the spot, but do any of you think that being involved or having community engagement with the university is good or important for ULM?
It's essential.
It's essential, right? Okay. So I'm going to steal something. Dr. Berry talked a little bit about his speech. A phrase that he has said in the past 2 years has been, we have to own who we are, where we are, and what we must do. That's part of ULM's mission, is owning who we are, where we are, and what we must do. Part of who we are is Northeast Louisiana. And believe it or not, in some areas of Northeast Louisiana, we have really high levels of poverty. Okay, really high, the worst in Louisiana and really the worst in America, actually. Some areas of Northeast Louisiana have high poverty. So although we are a place of education here and we want to change lives, part of what we want to do is change our entire community. And people like you are going to help do that. And it doesn't matter which major you're in, every single major that you may be in, you have the opportunity to change lives of the people in our community and not just Monroe and not just Washoe Parish, but all of Northeast Louisiana and beyond. And I hope that's what you accomplish while you're here. And I hope you push us to accomplish that too while you're here. You're going to learn a lot. All of you are being stretched. You're going to grow. When you leave ULM one day, you're going to look back and think, this was a really pivotal time in my life. I really learned a lot here. I grew up. I became a man, or I became a woman, or I became an adult, or I became a professional, whatever it is. You're going to look back and you're going to see that you grew. But what I hope you also do is I hope that you look through the lens of altruism. Be altruistic. That means to care for the welfare of others. You're going to look back and you're going to be changed. But I hope that when somebody looks back on you, they're going to be like, man, that person helped change so many people's lives. I hope that's what you do here. And we're going to push you to do that. You've got a big opportunity to do that. Dr. Berry is going to set up all of you to do that. Dr. Anderson is going to set up all of you to do that. They're going to put you in positions to do that. These guys are going to do the same. Now, I'm going to kind of go off track here just for 1 second. Part of owning who we are and where we are and what we must do. This is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. You all are students at ULM. When you graduate from ULM and you go to try to find a job, you want your employer to look at your resume and be like, man, this person graduated from ULM. I want to hire this person because they graduated from ULM. If you ever think about supporting another university or wearing another university's gear, remember that when you there's a school in Baton Rouge that sometimes people wear their gear. If you wear that gear, what you're telling every employer is that you think that they should hire someone from that school over hiring someone from ULM. That's how you need to look at it. If you wear another university's gear, you're telling every employer, hey, if they graduated from that school, go ahead and hire them before you hire me. So don't do that. This is who you are. This is who we are. And this is where we're changing lives at. I think that's, I don't know where I'm at on time.
We're not worried about time.
I get
I should have said that.
passionate.
Please don't worry about the time. We want to hear you speak. That's
Yeah.
why we asked you here.
So here's the thing. I'm in athletics right now, but if I can help you, if I can play a part in your time here at ULM and your story here at ULM, let me know. I'm serious. When I tell you that I love you, I mean, I love you. I want to help you out. Even if it's just stopping by my office to say, hey, I'm having a tough day. Can you tell me something nice about me to cheer me up? I want to do it. That's what we do here. So I hope that you will also do that in our community. And we really want to transform our entire community, but it's going to take our students helping out with that too. Okay, that's what I got.
Thank you, Seth. No, that's great. That's great. We certainly love to hear, our administrators, speak passionately about ULM, and that, that was, I think the three today really nailed that, and that's kind of what we're doing. We want to make sure that everybody understands that, we care about them and we want to see them succeed, and we're trying to give them the tools by having these type groups get together. I want to kind of turn it over to the Q&A session. Abby, did you want to start? I see you got a lot of notes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, have it. Abby will be your moderator if we need one. So
I guess we can kick off our Q&A session. I have a question for Dr. Berry. So you talk about how we're going to a transformative leadership on campus, one that is proactive. And I'm trying to figure out what type of avenues for feedback are we kind of creating for our students to kind of implement this proactive feedback.
It's a great question. We have to be open and transparent. So my email is out there, my phone number is out there. I eat lunch every day on campus, hoping students will sit down with me and tell me what's going on. Speak up, find your voice, be comfortable enough to tell us what's going on. And that goes for anyone on the administrative team, the faculty. We need the open communication. This morning, I shared an example of an email I sent out to faculty and staff. And I said the university needs to get to a point where we're okay with people playing the devil's advocate role. And some faculty sent back to me questioning that. And so I needed to explain it a little more, of what that really means. It means that we become more conversationalist instead of confrontationalist. And so it's okay to disagree. It's okay to say this isn't working. As long as you do it in a mutually respectful way, we can go a long way. Yeah, so I just say, find your voice, speak up, and share your thoughts.
Gotcha. And then just try and piggyback off that question. How do we evolve our leadership for our students? Because that is an ever evolving process, and kind of our society is going through a huge evolution change right now. How do we help our students go through this evolution of leadership?
You know, that's another great question. And so one of my favorite sayings is from Aristotle, which is the key sign of intelligence is the ability to entertain a thought without accepting it. And what's going on in society now, and a lot of things that's creating this divisiveness, is social media. And people will believe whatever they read instead of thinking critically about what they're reading.
Right.
And so I think through the normal educational process that you're going through, that's going to be impactful. But also just the environment that we're trying to create, whereby everyone feels comfortable and welcome, or more inclusive, that you can speak up. But also programs like this. This program is a great example. This Ties with Guys, where you can come and feel comfortable visiting with administrators. You know, I think there's a whole lot of things, and I would say take advantage of everyone you can. Last night, Student Affairs hosted our International Student Affairs hosted the Harvest Moon Festival. It was amazing. I mean, it was a very diverse crowd learning about Asian culture, learning about each other. That's the great thing about a university. You're in the right place to grow personally, to grow your leadership skills. So I'd say just stay involved, stay engaged, and the leadership piece will take care of itself.
It sounds like very good advice. I have two more questions before I open it up to the floor. Dr. Anderson, you talk about how professors can kind of guide students away from that academic side to development and success. What steps can students take to get over that daunting process of approaching their professors outside of the academic realm and looking for networking, for example?
Sure. I mean, there's ways to go about it. I think one of the biggest ways to go about getting over the struggle with a one-on-one opportunity for relationship development is to have groups. I mean, if you can have study groups that can meet with the professor one-on-one, I think that's definitely one way to do it. If you can meet the professors in this setting, it's an even better way of doing it. I know at the College of Pharmacy, we have lots of events where faculty engage with students, like the Super Tailgate. That's a great way of meeting faculty, engaging with them in a low stress, fun environment. So you can get to know them as people, not just as professors. Because I think some of the problem with developing relationships with your faculty isn't the fact that they're scary people. It's because there's a barrier that they're faculty in a position of responsibility and authority. The faculty don't generally use that as a weapon. I mean, it's just the way it is. It's our job to help you reach your goals. You need to begin to embrace the opportunities to get to know us as people. We when I say we, I'm talking faculty in general, truly do appreciate that opportunity. Yeah.
Can I jump in on that? Because, you know, I want everybody to feel comfortable here, so I'm gonna kind of share something about me. Dr. Fields has, you know, really pressed into our division on furthering your education. Okay, she has sent me, asked me, I don't know how to phrase that, but I'm enjoying it. I'm back in school. Okay, I'm in an online program. And, you know, for me, I think back to the late 90s, early 2000s, when I was an undergraduate. There's no way, and we didn't even have half the avenues of communication. Email was brand new. So I think back, and I told myself when I got back in school, I guess approximately a year ago, I'm not going to do that again. So, and I'll be honest with you, I called my professor numerous times. They're there in Natchitoches. I'm in school at Northwestern in an online program. And sorry, Seth. But I had to force myself to do it the first time. And believe it or not, I cannot believe it. Now I've turned 43 in less than a month. It was a real easy conversation. Once, kind of what Dr. Anderson, once you make that in that group setting, y'all as students can feel more comfortable then going to that one-on-one. Now, I didn't have the group setting, but I forced myself to call and just have a conversation with him. And we ended up talking, he knew my brother and he knew Dr. Fields and, this is my professor. And so we kind of had that conversation and it was easier to ask the question later in the semester, hey, I don't know that I'm going down the right path on this paper, or anything like that. So I just wanted to jump in and, make sure y'all understand I'm 43 and it's not any easier, but you have to kind of make a little bit of effort. And I promise you that, faculty and staff members are certainly human.
Yeah.
And are here for you.
I do love one of the things that you mentioned was the transition from email to some type of one-on-one communication, real-time communication. Text messages as a student, I would avoid at all costs. Most faculty aren't going to be real appreciative of being texted unless it's an emergency and it's about what's going on within the classroom. You can introduce yourself with email, but at some point in time, you've got to transition to that face-to-face or at least phone conversation. It is so important to be able to read the totality of communication. Remember, 70% or 80% of communication is not in what's written or what's said. It's in the tone and in the facial expressions that's delivered. And people need to see that. It says a lot more to say, hey, how you doing when you're smiling than to write on a piece of, on a text, hey, how you doing? That's right.
Mr. Hall, I know you're extremely involved with the community and we've had personal interactions too. And I appreciate how vulnerable you are with talking about how nervous you're in public forums, but I'm wondering what steps do you take to overcome that, especially that you're such a big face to the community and the university in general.
Yeah, I keep finding myself in awkward moments. Like just now, a bug was climbing up my jacket and I killed on my neck. So those things kind of break the ice for me, I think. No, kind of like what Brandon said, I enjoy doing this now. Like I enjoy when I get the opportunity to speak at something like this. I ran track and field and cross country here. I enjoy racing, but I get nervous every time I do it. And so I've come to the understanding of like, okay, some of these things are just uncomfortable or maybe seem awkward or scary. But after I do it, I'm always like, well, I'm glad I did that. So it's just pushing through, really stretching myself and putting myself in uncomfortable situations. And then later looking back, being like, man, it was a good thing that I did that. And so I think like all of you will be faced with that, whether it's speaking in public or whatever it may be, just because it's scary and just because you think that you don't want to do it or your instincts are trying to tell you not to do it, doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. You probably still should do it because you're going to learn from it. And so it's really just having perhaps an inward discussion with yourself where it's like, okay, this is scary, but I'm going to do this.
Gotcha. At this point, if anybody in our public forum, if you're in Zoom, you can type in your message.
Oh, we had a message in the chat box.
So
For Seth.
my former office is right around the corner here. We called it the Dream Suite. And so they asked me if I'm missing the dreamers in that suite, and I am missing you guys if you're still on the call.
I'd like to add one thing we forgot on Seth's introduction, 7-time or 8-time University Mile champion. He reminded me of his competitiveness at our annual homecoming run race.
I won't be winning this year. There's a really fast guy in town right now. He's a lot faster than me.
All right, we can.
Plus, I'm not training as much right now, so I'm just getting all my excuses out there. I'll be
Just
nervous when
as-
the race comes. You
As
already
long as
know
we,
that.
as long as we beat Nathan, we gotta beat Nathan.
Can't promise that, but it'll be close.
Yeah, there you go.
Do we have any questions from our students in attendance?
Question. This is tailored to all three speakers. I just want to point that out, but probably Dr. Edmondson will relate a little bit to it more capacity.
Sure.
As far as like students as a whole, I'm not like knocking any other majors, but as far as professional school, specifically with the med school, like it's very hard to balance work, and school. And my people that are here that know me, Joe, Chris, and my friends Cameron, like before I got into professional school, like I used to work 3 to 5 jobs, be involved everywhere. And Brandon, coach, that's cool. But on the alternative, now that I've gotten in the program that I've wanted to, and it's a medical field program, like we're potentially the future for America as we tailor to the medical field. And so it's a struggle because we can't work as much as we did, plus balancing the schoolwork that we're able to do. And that's not complaining by any means, but it is a struggle that I just wanted to ask, is there a way that medical students or professional students at ULM could be here potentially, because for example, dental hygiene, we're only able to get like maybe 2 or 3 like tailored foundational scholarships for our major specifically. And that's for all 60 members. That's not for the incoming people like ourselves, because the seniors before us could have gotten it. And so, I hate to bring like the financial aspects to this, but it's like really, really hard for us. So
It's that way in all the health professions. I know in pharmacy school, you're looking at $25,000 to $35,000 a year in debt. And scholarships, even within the college, we do a decent job, but most students, when they receive a scholarship, you're looking at between $500 and $2,000. That's not a lot when you're looking at $25,000 just for tuition and fees. And then if they have a dean that tells them specifically, you need to not work. I don't think there's a good answer today. One of the things that we are looking at are there ways for us to increase the scholarship availability of students. I mean, Dr. Berry's opened up new foundation related pathways for us to develop scholarships. The College of Pharmacy and other colleges are looking to continue to identify and recruit donors to help us do those kinds of activities. I mean, for example, within the college, we've grown our foundation from $250,000 now to $1.5 million. And that means that we have tripled the number of scholarships that we can give, but it doesn't help you today. It's a long-term investment that we're looking for. Right now, I mean, my recommendation to you would be, look at what jobs you can take, focus them on the weekends, because that's really where you have the most time to do it. And that doesn't help you, I know.
yeah,
I understand how bad, but
It's an excellent question,
Yeah.
though.
I think it's part of your mindset too. Education is an investment in yourself. Investments require expense.
Yeah.
So there's give and take, and you unfortunately you may have to borrow money.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that you're in a field where you're going to be able to get a good return on that investment, so that you can have the life that you're seeking and pay off that debt. But a lot of people don't view college as an investment. That's really what it is. A lot of people view it as an expense. You're really investing in yourself and your future. And so it may be tough, may be difficult for a while,
Yeah,
but it'll be worth it.
This question is directed towards you, Dr. Aronson. As far as students preparing to go into their professional program, like myself, I was wondering what kind of advice would you give as far as transitions from pre to professional programs, as far as workload and harder courses and more challenging stuff like that? What kind of advice would you give students like that?
Well, that ties very well with your question. I mean, you've heard my first recommendation, don't expect to work. And I say that not for the 4 years that you're in the pharmacy program. I'm really focused on the first year. One of the things that I would suggest any student who goes into, I'm sorry, I'm whistling, but any student who goes in the professional program, I would suggest you have during your orientation a question that's prepared for whoever's providing you that orientation. The question is this: what's the hardest year in this program? Because the reality is there's always one year in the program that is considered a make or break year. Okay, within the pharmacy program, it's usually the first year of the program, the first semester of the first year of the program. So if you see students are going to fail, where are they going to most likely fail? It's that semester. And if you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, you're going to a program, you're in your pre-program coursework, and then you get your new coursework. If you think of hoses that with water coming out of them, okay? Your pre-pharmacy or any program coursework is like having a garden hose that you're trying to drink out of when it's on full blast. Going to your program, it's like going to a fire hose when you're trying to drink out of it when it's going full blast. You have to have that. It can be done, but you gotta have that transition period. So that's the first thing. Minimize the number of outside activities you have going on. If you can take more loans, as Dr. Berry suggested, take more loans at least that first semester. The one thing I wouldn't give up is if you're engaged in any kind of extracurricular activities. For example, if you're engaged in a fraternity sorority, you need to continue to be engaged in that. If you're looking at going to a professional program like dental hygiene that has its own sorority or fraternity, you should engage in that. It doesn't take a lot of time. I'm not saying be the president. I'm saying engage in it, okay? Why? Because you're looking at the long game, not the short game, right? You got to balance both. The short game is how do I get through the program to get my competency? The long game is how do I develop my CV so that I can be successful and get a job later on?
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
I kind of have a question catered to really anybody in the room, if you have any like advice on it. Because I know there's a lot of people here that are pretty much everyone's older than me. I feel like men's mental health is kind of like underappreciated, like in the world in general, not just here. So what advice would you give to like a student struggling with the mental side of their college life, not so much just the educational side? Because I know as a student, there's a lot of distractions, you know, girls, parties, you know, alcohol, stuff like that, that just really brings people down. Like, what advice would you give on how to like stay away from those distractions?
We probably have someone here who's qualified to answer that question. Dr. Anderson, but you know, I think engaging in organizations, finding a good group of friends, talk. We have an amazing counseling center on campus. We've added several counselors. We've lost a couple of counselors. We're trying to add more counselors. But really it's be willing to talk, be willing to share, be willing to be vulnerable. As Seth talked about earlier, being uncomfortable is actually really good for you. You grow when you're uncomfortable. And for some people, going and sitting, especially men, going and sitting down across from someone and saying, I'm struggling with this, is very uncomfortable. We all just have to become more comfortable to do that for our own mental health. Go to the activity center, walk, you know, there's lots of things I think that can help with that. But now the professional will give the real answer, if you don't mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, physical health is nothing without emotional health. Forget about the old sayings and all of that advice. You don't come there advice for the advice. You come there to grow along emotional, psychological, and physical lines. For some people, or if not all of us, at some point, we're going to be challenged and challenged well. It could really knock you way off course. You think you're alone. For people that are trained and understand, and someone like me who grew up hardcore, education was my key. There's tons of professionals and everyone that could give you able advice, but pretty much a facility that offers counseling with licensed and trained people, that's a good start. And when you get hit a hard place and have difficulty trying to progress, that's where you can always come. We have also special accommodations. If someone has some type of a handicap or having a difficult time adjusting to college, we also have countless programs for that. So my name is Russell Hollis. We just lost 2 counselors, but that won't last long.
Yeah.
We're steadily being on pace with the university. But I'm glad I got a chance to just say something. be it your first or if you regular comer, everything is confidential. What we say there and what we do there is confidential. And so you can focus on yourself and become the best student that you can become in spite of some of the things that really just put you in the new stratosphere. We are mental health professionals and are well trained here in this community. Thank you.
So as we wrap up our question and answer, I just wanted to add as a student and an international student that don't just look at mental health as trying to fix something, but also self-awareness. And I know Dr. Anderson talked about self-awareness, and as somebody that's gone through counseling, comes from a culture where mental health is stigmatized. I've learned so much about myself and I've grown so much as an individual. And the first notion I had going in was, oh, this is not for me. I'm a man, like I don't have to talk about feelings, but it's overcoming your ego and recognizing your ego is your enemy and finding that the obstacle is the way to go through that. So I think the first step is being courageous enough to say, let me go see how this can help me. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck in this loophole.
If I could add to that as well. With someone who's recently graduated, recently got hired at ULM. A lot of my colleagues, we are newly thrown into the world of adulthood. And with that world, we've been faced with a lot that we wasn't used to. And we are still grad students, yet we still face all the things like alcohol, girls, everything, we still face it. But I think the main thing how you can get past it is surround yourself with people with the same goal. We, like I said, me and my friends, you can ask your mom right here, if we have a problem, I call him up, hey, I need some help. If he can't get it to me, hey, you need to go get some professional help and I'll go with you. It's that support. And we all going towards the same goal. Because if you hang around people who are doing the same thing and don't see a way out, somebody needs to step up and say, okay, look, this is my schooling. This is why I'm here. And I need some help so that I can push myself forward. That's just my advice.
We are coming to a bit of a time crunch and I would have to hand the floor to Dr. Fields.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. I just want to kind of touch base. We will bring someone in, come back. We will have these meetings. That's one thing I haven't mentioned, and I'm gonna turn over to Dr. Fields in 1 second, but the second Tuesday of every month, obviously not in December, that's right in the middle of finals, be a little tough. And then we'll crank back up in January. So we'll have October, the second Tuesday in October, second Tuesday in November. And this is going to be moved to the top of the list, okay, for our speakers. So just let you know that we will have that and we'll have that. We'll have some announcements out soon regarding mental health and the speakers for the next few meetings. Dr. Fields, you want to close us out?
Sure. But before we do that, what I would like to do is just go around the table and let the students introduce themselves and everyone that's in the room, because I think that's very important for everyone to kind of know who's in the room and the types of connections that you can make. Of course, I'm situated in an off-site area, not very far from you, but I am with the championship team that is preparing with water ski. And so I'm very excited to have all of them in the room with me today. And I think that it is very important for everyone to know who's on deck, because that's also how these communications start. And I want to say to all of the students that we hope that as this goes forward, that if those conversations are moving in such a way that you all need to reach out, please don't hesitate to do so, because this is what this is about. I think that in the past, we've had great conversations, and just as you did on today, when students express that I have a desire to know more, we try to provide you with that opportunity. As we go forward, we will look forward to doing some more smaller groups, so going into breakout sessions where everybody will have a guide to be able to feel like it's a little bit more personal. But that is exactly what we're trying to do. So I'm going to start right here in our room, and I'm going to start with our coach and just let him introduce himself.
Hey guys, I'm Zane Nicholson. I'm the water ski coach here at ULM.
Okay.
My name is Levi Cutton. I'm from Australia. My name is Sondre Saleh. I'm from Norway.
I'm Sonia. I'm the captain of the water ski team, senior computer science major. My name is Lyra. I'm also a Waterski team account manager.
Hi everyone, my name is Seth. I'm from Belarus and I'm business management major.
Hello, my name is Stasia Prosvetova. I'm from Ukraine. I'll sit down because I work at the Hawkeye ULM newspaper as an advertising manager. So if you ever need to advertise anything, don't hesitate to contact me and I can help you. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Delia Lard and I'm from Canada. Hi, I'm Elise Mang and I'm from Norway.
Hello, my name is Demir. I'm a freshman from Ukraine.
Hello, I'm Carter Lucas from Canada. I'm also a team captain.
Hello, my name is Aldo. I'm from Finland.
And my name is Tim Thornquist and I'm from Sweden.
My name is Dominique Grandin-Allard. I'm the graduate assistant for the ski team and I'm from Canada.
And one more in here.
Hey, I'm Ryan Shipper. I'm a new MBA student and the athletics compliance PA and from Minnesota.
So you guys can go in your room now, Brandon, and go around.
Sure. Where do we want to start? Let's start down here since Ryan went. Not you, Joe.
No, the students.
Student.
I'm Morgan Falk. I'm Joe's grad assistant and I'm in the speech language pathology graduate program.
Hi, I'm Carlos Moses. I'm in the dental hygiene program. I'm a junior. I also work in career and student development for the past 2 to 3 years. I am a mentee at Christian Williams as well.
I'm Cameron Jeff. I'm the chief in Hawkeye.
I'm Logan Muir. I'm a business administration major here, sophomore.
Hello guys, my name is Lee J. Thompson. I'm a sophomore medical laboratory science major. I'm from Shreveport. Recently became the speaker of the College of Health Sciences for SGA. So trying to work with Donald Simpson with changing some stuff, but I think you guys.
Hello everyone, I'm Raphael from Lagos, Nigeria.
Hello everyone, I'm Ivan Rajikar and I'm from Nepal and I'm majoring in computer science.
Hello everyone, I'm Pravas and I'm also an international student from Nepal and I'm a sophomore studying computer science and I have just recently established a new club, that's Google Developer Students Club at the university to increase more connection and more interaction between computer science students and we try to be as Dr. Berry said, we are trying to be more inclusive and we are trying to grow the community.
Hi, I'm Kostas Rosa. I'm also from Nepal and I'm a person in computer science.
My name is Oliver Clark McGee. I'm a second year graduate research and teaching assistant. I do research and work in the ULM College of Pharmacy. I'm getting my PhD.
My name is.
He's graduating.
My name is Eric Lair Jr. I'm a sophomore social work major and I'm a Reginald F. Lewis scholar here on campus.
My name is Braxton Jackson. I'm a political science major. I'm a sophomore. I am also a Reginald F. Lewis scholar, and I'm Dr. Phil's student worker.
My name is Bentley Fort. I'm a biology major. I'm a freshman from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm with the TRIO program.
I'm Martin Wyatt. I'm a sophomore. Oh, sorry. Senior, I'm sorry. I don't know where I got, so I'm thinking of R.F. Lewis, but I'm R.F. Lewis scholar, psychology major, and a member of R.F. Lewis as well.
My name's Abhinav Walia. I hail from Lusaka, Zambia. I'm an MBA candidate with a focus on health communication. I'm also the graduate assistant at the University Police Department.
I think so. Is there any other students? Okay.
I'm Jerry Anders. I'm in my last year of pharmacy school. I'm also Mr. ULM, so just shameless plug to all the male students in the room. If you want to do something to get you outside of your comfort zone, something that you're uncomfortable with, and something to get you involved in the community, then come to our interest meeting on Thursday. Thank you.
Do we have any other students that are on virtually that would like to introduce themselves?
Hello, everyone. My name is Tamarian Turner. I'm a junior mass communications major, and I am the Campus Activities Board President.
Are there any others? Okay, if not, I just want to take this opportunity.
Hi, I'm Nadia. My name is Nadia. I am Dr. Fields' GA. I am a second year grad student in speech language pathology.
Okay, thank you. And I do see some other administrators, faculty and staff members. Dr. Camille, would you like to let everyone know who you are?
Yes, hi, I'm Mike Camille. I'm the Vice President for Information Services and Student Success.
Okay. Other faculty and staff members that are on virtually? Okay.
Hi, I'm Lynetta Whitehurst. I am over here at the ULM Foundation, one of the people that processes donations and analyze reports for some of the foundations around here. And I always enjoy listening to knowing what's going on in the community at ULM. It's always been informative.
I've never met him in person. Is Jason Stewart here? Nope, he wouldn't able to make it. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. I just want to make sure I did forget to introduce him, but if he's not here.
Hello, I'm Eugenia White, Director of International and Multicultural Affairs.
My name is Tommy Nelson. I'm with TRIO. I'm the retention coordinator.
And you know, I did fail to do this as our first meeting. I didn't introduce the committee. The guys that have kind of worked behind the scenes to kind of line this up. Myself, I'm Brandon Brascata. I'm the Director of Recreational Services. And I would encourage my committee members to please stand up and introduce themselves.
Standing, so I'll go first. I didn't introduce myself earlier, so my apologies. My name is Joel Sinclair. I'm the coordinator of student activities, and I serve as the campus activity board advisor.
I'm Chris Williams, coordinator of Greek life, and also a Dr. Alex John fellow.
Now bring up the rear. I don't know if y'all can see me or not, but I am Michael Stogstow-Bricker, the director over career development. Again, thank you everybody, the speakers, the attendees. I would also encourage all students to congregate in that room at the end of this for a picture if we can. Thanks so much.
And I think we do have a community guest that's sitting at the table, at the conference table in there. I don't think I have to call her name. She's at the end of the table. So will you please introduce yourself?
I'm Stacy Smith. I'm a lifetime alumni of ULM. I'm a nursing grad. I'm glad to be here. If I could assist anyone, I'd be glad to. I'm a PhD student and my research is mental illness stigmatization. So if anyone would like to talk to me about anything, I'd be available to help you.
You may have just become a speaker. You better watch out now.
Thank you all so much for that. And again, we do wish to thank all of you all for joining on today. We look forward to you joining as we move forward with this. And I'm very excited about what the team has done with transforming this particular program. And I want to thank all of our speakers and especially thank our leader of this university, President Barry, because he allowed me to do things like this for our students. And so I'm certainly appreciative for him and trusting that I'm doing the right thing. Thank you all so much. And all of the students will move into that conference room for a quick picture. And we look forward to seeing you on next month. Thank you all. Thank you.
Dr. Fields, I think we missed Jamie. Jamie was trying to say